Happy Thursday. Welcome to this week's live stream. Good to see you. I had a little freak out moment. I still had my login info from my last stream, so I freaked out for a second, but I am in. I am live now. Good to see some of you guys already hanging out in the chat. What's up? What's up, Donnie and Lilith? Really need to you're on your phone. Oh, I think you mean charge it. Yeah. The streaming on YouTube completely kills your battery. I've watched a live stream and it literally died in an hour. So good to see you guys. What's going on tonight? Tonight's a little, I don't know, it just feels a little different. I don't know. Maybe it's just I've been actually busy at work lately, so I actually left on time, so I barely made it to get ready for everything, but we're good to go. How are you guys feeling? Are you feeling good? Feeling productive? Joseph, what's up? I know why I may be feeling a little off. I was craving some Ardbeg when I got home from work. So, I know, don't kill me. But actually bought another bottle of Ardbeg Ugadal because it was on sale at my store. I haven't picked it up yet, but I was like, do I really like it? So I came home, took a little sip of it, and yeah, I wanted another bottle of it. So, completely different from today's topic, though. What's up, Peter? Thanks for stopping in. You're always here. I don't know why I said thanks for stopping in. Yeah, so today I thought, let's get into the episode. Let's stop talking about scotch. Ugh, right? Today I wanted to do a lineup that I've been holding on to for a little while. Not really sure why. I think it's because I was dreading some of them. Let me explain. So you guys know, I've mentioned it several times on my stream. Rebel Yell 100 was one of my favorite releases of 2019. I actually picked up a bottle at the distillery, at the Lux Row Distillery, when I was there in Kentucky for its Bourbon night meetup. But I actually just recently, it's not out here in California. You can only buy the standard Rebel Yell here. But for some reason, they don't get the 100 proof in. So I picked this up when I was back home for Christmas in North Carolina. I don't know if I got it in North or South Carolina, but I'm doing good, guy. Thanks for stopping in. If you did not like it, I would take off your hat. Yeah, so that was one thing I did want to talk about a little bit while I was doing this. I did the tour at the Lux Row Distillery. Was surprisingly not what I expected walking in. So, what's up, Doug? Good to see you. So Lux Row / Lux Co. is a weird one because I feel like most people don't really know about them. And that's because at the moment, they aren't releasing their own product. They're sourcing their whiskey. So Rebel Yell is sourced from Heaven Hill, and their rye is sourced from MGP. So they're currently sourcing, that's not confirmed, don't go to me, but it's pretty well known. So yeah, so I didn't know much about them, but they were part of our tour, our day of tours with It's Bourbon Night. And I was surprisingly impressed. Yes, it's a huge facility, and it feels super corporate-y. I mean, the name was Lux Co. I mean, sounds corporate, right? But I loved their integration. Their opening film they showed us at the distillery tour was so engaging. It was so, intense. And it, as, a video creator, it made me be oh, I want to make something like this. So I loved their distillery tour, and the wife of the president of the company, she's their creative director, and she was actually there with us for our tour. So had a wonderful time. I really can't recommend that tour enough. It's different than your little small tours you have in Kentucky, but it's just super impressive with, their dedication to art, photography, video. It's a very engaging tour. So I did get to try that, Peter. I didn't actually buy a bottle of it because it was a little pricey for me, honestly. But they did let us try that at the end of our tour. Really, really good stuff. It was just a little pricey for me at the time because I'd already bought so many bottles when I was in Kentucky. I also tried their Orphan Barrel series while I was there too. I paid for a pour of that. So the one that I did not try, which I really wish I had a bottle of tonight to review, was their 10-year-old Rebel Yell single barrel. I do not have that. I've not seen it anywhere in California. But I do have 3 whiskeys from their lineup that I really wanted to dive into. And I know Rebel Yell gets a bad rap. I mean, I avoided trying it for the longest time because everyone said how terrible it was. And I don't want to do any spoilers. I did recently open this bottle of the Standard Rebel Yell for a review of a different whiskey that I wanted to compare to the cheapest whiskey I owned. I bought this bottle of Rebel Yell for $7.99 for a 750 milliliter Rebel Yell. I know that's like the cheapest I've ever paid for anything other than like Four Freedoms, which some of you know that used to be my my like terrible neutral grain spirit whiskey. Hated it. The chocolates with the tasting were really nice. Oh yeah, no, it was an awesome tour. I literally can't recommend it enough. It was terrible back in the day. I think Lil, I think that's a good point. People have this conception that Rebel Yell is just like bottom shelf, disgusting. You can't handle it. So I never bought a bottle. I never tried it until I came across the Rebel Yell 100 proof, which I tried at the distillery. I love this, you guys. I mean, I've talked about this several times on this channel, and we can't get it out here in California. I'm so mad. This is about like less than $20 bottle. It's a wheated whiskey, of course, so all the Rebel Yells are wheated whiskeys. But it's 100 proof, and something's really, really good about this for the price. But I didn't want to start here tonight. I wanted to do the full Rebel Yell experience, minus the 10-year. What's up, Steven? Good to see you. Peter says, the 10-year single barrel is still a favorite on my third bottle, closer to 13 years sometimes. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I really want a bottle of that. If anyone comes across it, and let me know, because I may be interested in maybe doing some shipping situation here to get it. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and pour just the standard Rebel Yell, and I'll tell you a little bit about it once I pour it. But I almost forgot to ask, what are you guys drinking tonight? If you have any Lux Row products, pull it out. Pour a glass. If you don't, pour something cheap, because tonight's theme is cheap. So, guy says, Four Freedoms, I drank that when I was unemployed and the last week of benefits was coming up. I understand, but God, that stuff was so... I'd rather drink vodka. Because for the price of the Four Freedoms, $6 I paid for, like, a fifth of it, I would rather buy vodka. It just was not enjoyable at all. Steven felt like Ian and Eric and picked up New Riff and Kentucky Spirit today. Nice. I need to review. I have a Kentucky Spirit pick from 2014 that I need to review. Lil says they had some Eagle Rare. Good one. I reviewed that with Brandon last week. Rhetoric 24. Ooh, fancy. I haven't had any of the Rhetoric lineup. Old Ezra 7-year barrel proof. That's a good budget. I mean, it's not budget, but like for a barrel proof, it's budget. Old Forester 100 proof. Another great budget option. I'm not the biggest Old Forester fan, but I know there are lots of you guys out there that love Old Forester. So no dissing for Old Forester. But let's talk about Rebel Yell. So, like I said, I did not try this at the distillery. They didn't pour this on the tour. I mean, I probably wonder why. I mean, obviously. But I bought this bottle for $7.99. No expectations. It's an 80 proof, 40% whiskey. I looked it up. It's barely old enough to be called what it's called, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I think it's like 2 years old, honestly, 2 to 3 years old. I mean, it's not ever revealed, but I have a good feeling this is like the bare minimum. It's, like I said, sourced most likely from Heaven Hill, which you guys know, I love Heaven Hill. I literally love almost everything they put out. So I just wanted to try it on its own. Like I said, I had some Ardbeg earlier, but I think enough time has passed, so that's out of my system a bit. But let's go ahead and nose that. Well, first of all, let's talk about the color. Color-wise, this is really light. I mean, it's hard to see. I mean, color you can't really tell from the camera, but it's really light, almost like a yellow, like a honey. It almost looks like honey to me. It looks a little more orange on camera, but it's almost that might have lightened it up a little bit, but it's like literally like a pure honey color. So that's not very promising. Usually bourbon, you like it to be a little bit darker. Oh no, Steven, you missed it. I actually have not had that, and I've been looking for it, but I've never seen it out here in California. It's like $100, right? It's pretty pricey. Blind sample from Brandon, guessing it's a rye. I don't know. I actually don't know what his blind sample was he sent you. He's not in the chat today, so he may have to tell you. I don't know if he revealed it to you or not, but yeah, he didn't tell me. He just gave me the bottle. He's like, send these to Joseph. By the way, you guys, like, if you guys ever want to send me samples, please send me a message. I will give you a shout out on the channel. I will like let you know when I'm going to review it. So I love samples. I literally can't get enough. And I'm like, I am even like in situations where I like buy samples from some people because I want to try it before I buy a whole bottle. I just recently bought a set of samples from, I don't know why I did that. I bought a set of samples from this guy that I know, and I'm gonna review like a bunch of individual reviews because there's a lot of cool products that I've wanted to try. I got the old Fitzgerald 13 year from him. I got a Jefferson's Ocean store pick. So look for those coming very soon. We could destroy your palate. Not a good starter. I know, but I was craving it. It's been like 45 minutes, so I think I'm okay. But I was just craving it. So Smirnoff vodka at $14 plastic, half a gallon. Hey, I mean, I fortunately I've never been in a situation like that, but I completely understand. I was in college. I drank cheap vodka. I'm used to that. But bring me some in September. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, please bring me samples. I'd love it. A sample of Weller 12. What does that mean? Like a bottle? I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna see a lot of you there. I mention this every stream, but there's gonna be a meetup that Chris and Lil are hosting in Las Vegas in September. If you're interested, shoot me a message. I'll give you the info for that because I would love to meet all of you. Some of you haven't responded to the event invite. Steven, you never responded. Are you coming? Let us know. Okay, but let's go into nosing this Rebel Yell. Again, $8. Gotta set it up because I can't. My expectations are very, very low for this guy. On the nose, it reminds me the most. This is gonna be weird, but it reminds me of like a corn whiskey. Like Rebel Yell, Heaven Hill also puts out a whiskey called Mellow Corn. It's 100% corn whiskey, 100 proof. This smells like sweet corn, like almost like, I mean, even like one of the things that we did at a lot of these distillery tours, we tasted the mash as it came off of the still, or not the still, but the whatever, the mash, which is their grains, their corn, their wheat, fresh out of the cooker. See, I learned some stuff in Kentucky. But yeah, so this is very reminiscent on the nose of unaged spirit. It doesn't smell bad. It smells very corny. Super sweet though. I mean, it's not even like there's no like baked good note, which is very common for Heaven Hill for me. I don't get that at all in the nose. Yeah, it's very vanilla, and I guess I would say caramel, but not like a deep dark caramel, but it's just like a light caramel. Peter, you'll send me some samples. Peter, send me a message. Are you on Twitter or Instagram or something? Shoot me a message, and we can figure it out. I just don't want to like publicize my address or anything. I don't have a PO box, so I have to like give out my actual address. So, guy says, I swore college was the last time I would drink cheap liquor, but it wasn't. Life is funny that way. Totally get you, man. I mean, I'm drinking $8 Rebel Yell tonight, so right there with you. Cheers to cheap booze that still works. Lil's gonna go look at dishwashers. Oh yeah. Good luck with your purchase. I love our dishwasher. I'm so lazy. Doug says he found a couple bottles of Old Ezra 7-year barrel proof for 38. Not the best. That's great. I actually got my bottle of it for I think 45, and I would gladly pay that again. I've never seen it. Doug, where are you based? Because it popped up once here first in California, but I never saw it again. And I miss it because it was so good. I only bought one bottle, but I miss it. So let's go ahead and taste this. It's got like a little dustiness too, which I can get from corn whiskey. So I'm curious if that carries over in the taste. So it's it's 40% alcohol. It's very low proof. There's a little bit of tingle though. I'm not saying it's like the lightest thing I drank. But, if you're someone that doesn't drink whiskey neat, and this is on the shelf for $8, this is probably one of the best things you can pick up to ease yourself into whiskey. And I say that because I've always thought wheaters or like wheated bourbons were very approachable. I mean, Larceny was one of the first ones I bought, which is a Heaven Hill wheated bourbon. So this is very similar to Larceny. Definitely younger and definitely lower proof. But it's so easy on the palate. There's no lingering burn, which sometimes I like that lingering burn, but there's none of that on this because it's so young and it's so low proof. Oh, you're in New York. Gotcha. Peter says he's got an unopened Heaven Hill 9-year cast strength. Oh, you were telling me about this. Would be in my wheelhouse. Yes, please. I would love to try that. Like I said, send me a message, Peter. I would do a whole video on that because that sounds so interesting. Joe says he's going to a restaurant. He's going to snoop around the kitchen looking for dishwashers until the other stop quitting. Maybe. We never know. Lil is little bit crazy, but we love her. So yeah. So honestly, though, I went into this expecting like one of the worst whiskeys I've ever had. 'Cause, again, the cheapest one I've ever bought, cheaper than Jim Beam. Like that's what I'm talking. Now I know this isn't always a $10, $8 bottle. Some people pay 10 to 15, I think, for this. I think it used to be 20, but it recently dropped down in price. I'm not sure why, but honestly, I mean, there's no complaints. It's very one note. There's not much complexity or depth. It's Let me go ahead for another tasting real quick. You get that corn sweetness. It's not as sweet. No, no, it's still sweet. It you get more of the oak though. I guess that's what I was gonna say. I didn't get any of the oak on the nose, but tasting it, you get that oak, and it tastes like a bourbon. And you know what? They put out a pretty good product for the price. I mean, honestly, great product for the price. I've never had a $8 bourbon better. Obviously, I never bought an $8 bourbon, but um, yeah. So what I wanted to do, let's compare directly. Before I do want to do the rye, which is an interesting product in itself. I do want to compare it directly with the 100 proof version. Now, this came out in 2019, as far as I know. It's only in a few states, but this one, I'm pretty sure, is aged a bit longer. Again, no confirmation from Rebel Yell in terms of that, but I get a feeling this was a little bit more premium of a product. Like I said, it was the one bottle I bought from the distillery because I loved it so much. Is it a wheated rye? No, this is actually, the rye is actually a 95% rye. Basically it's MGP rye, spoiler, but it's also $11. I got it for $10.99. But this one I bought for 22 at the distillery, but I think it goes for around 15 to 20 normally. So I paid a little bit more for it. But again, it's something I can't get in California, so I had to pick it up while I was in Kentucky. Color-wise, though, man, there's a difference. I know it's always hard for me to do a direct comparison on camera because I can't really, I just have to hold them like this. But the one on your left, which is my right, is the 100 proof, so it's definitely darker. I don't know if it has more age to it or if it's just because it's not been watered down as much, but it's darker. Let's go ahead and nose it though. Let me nose real quick the original Rebel Yell just to remind myself of how it was. Yeah, like a dusty corn sweetness, but a good one. It's not off-putting at all. Let's go to the 100 proof. That's different. There's definitely something else going on here, and I'm pretty sure this one's older. And the reason I say that is that oak presence is there. It's not even in the background. It's totally there on the nose. It's still a sweet corn, but it's more traditional of what I expect a wheated bourbon to smell like. It's almost in that darker caramel notes that I enjoy a lot. I mean, that's a very Heaven Hill type note, but it's darker, deeper. It's still not super baked goody, which again I get normally on Heaven Hill products like Elijah Craig. It's a little bit there, but it does taste a little. It's not quite as developed, I would say, as like an Elijah Craig. Again, that's a different mash bill, and I haven't had Larceny in a while, so I can't compare it directly. But it smells a lot better on the nose than its cheaper and lower proof counterparts. So let's go ahead and taste it. Cheers. I keep forgetting to say cheers. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, it's similar, but like, it's way more complex. I mean, there is way more. I know it's 100 proof, but the finish on this is twice as long, I would say. There is actually some complexity, and it's a lot more than I would expect for the price point. I mean, it keeps going. I mean, the finish is still going for me, and that's why I put this as. I mean, if you haven't watched my video when I talked about the best new whiskeys of 2019, this made the list, and I don't regret that for a second. I think for the price point, this is probably one of the best value whiskeys you can buy. I mean, again, not saying that as a fanboy. I know I'm wearing the hat and everything, but you guys, if you see this and you like wheated bourbons, even if you don't like standard Maker's Mark, definitely give it a try, because I have been way more impressed than I thought I would be with this product. It's better than Larceny, and Larceny was my starter. Like, that was the first wheated whiskey I ever liked. I didn't like Maker's Mark. I like their higher end offerings like the Maker's 46, but standard Maker's Mark just didn't do it for me. I think I prefer this over Maker's 46, which for the longest time was my favorite non-cast strength weeded bourbon. So that's saying a lot. I just really do love that. I mean, I'm gonna go back to the regular Rebel Yell and just compare it directly because again, it's I got it for like half the price of what I got the Rebel Yell for the 100 proof. So let's compare. Thank you, Steven. This actually got it at the distillery. They have some really nice merch at the distillery. So again, recommend checking it out. It's similar, but that's the reason I say that I think this is aged a bit longer because the original one, even though I get it's lower proof, I get that it's gonna not be as spicy and the finish isn't gonna be as long, but the flavor profile is different. The regular Rebel Yell is sweet corn, none of the oak at all. Like it's like barely there on the palate, but like on the nose, it's not there at all. Whereas the 100 proof, I mean, it's on the nose and the palate. So there's definitely some age on the 100 proof. I recommend, depending on your situation. Again, Guy reminds us like life isn't always fun and fair, and like you're not always able to buy the most expensive bourbon on the shelf, even if it's the bottom shelf. So, I mean, if you're buying a bottom shelf whiskey, hey, $8 versus what, $6 for Four Freedoms, Guy. Pretty sure like if this were around, if it were this good, whenever that was, I'd pick this over the Four Freedoms personally. But you do what you gotta do. So one more thing I wanted to do before I moved over to the rye. I didn't have a dump glass. I forgot to bring one of those. You want a Booker's 30th? Oh, we all want a Booker's 30th. I wanted to get that so bad when we had a lottery at my store, but did not get it. So I'm going to finish the Rebel Yell, and then we're going to move on to a comparison that I've wanted to do since I bought this, but I haven't done it yet. So you guys will get to do it with me. What are you guys pouring now? I mean, it's been like 20 minutes. Surely you're on your second glass or third. I mean, depends how quickly you drink. When I'm in social situations, I drink really quickly. Like when I'm at home, it takes me like half an hour to get through a glass. But like if I'm like with friends and stuff, I'm like on my third glass at this point. And by with friends, I mean you guys, because like I consider you all my friends. And I want to meet you in Vegas. So keep an eye out for that meetup. Or not keep an eye out. Let me know if you want to come. Thank you, Joseph. Yes, I consider you all my friends. So I'm going to pour a little bit more of the 100 proof just to have a fair comparison. I love the cork. I mean, legit, like this cork is even an upgrade from the cork of the regular Rebel Yell. So even that in itself, it's worth the price increase. Okay, not really, but still. Okay, a little bit more of the Rebel Yell 100. What I want to do is I want to compare it with another budget Heaven Hill bourbon. And I'm going to go with, for this situation, one of my favorites. You guys know what this is. Evan Williams, 100 proof, bottled in bond. Budget offering, $18 for this 1 liter bottle at Costco. And I really want to see how it compares to what they're sending Lux Row for their for their Rebel Yell. I want to know, are they sending them the good stuff or like their stuff that's off profile? Steven's been sick. Sorry to hear that, man. I had a pretty nasty cold like 2 weeks ago, and it seemed to linger forever. So I feel you there. Thankfully, I'm over it now. But I mean, you guys saw I was trying to review things, and I was like, I was not doing very well because I was like, I couldn't smell anything. So this one, the difference between this one and the Rebel Yell is it's a bottle in bond, so it has stricter regulations. It's probably older, at least a little bit older. That's a good point, Joseph. And the reason I picked Evan Williams is because I didn't have any larceny, which I would have been a better comparison. But I wanted to compare still 100 proof Heaven Hill whiskey. It may not be the same mash bill, but it's similar enough. So that's a good point, though. And Joseph, I honestly probably would have forgotten it I would have forgotten it if you wouldn't have mentioned it. So you were glad to help a friend with unemployment who's with a good drinker liquor. See, that's awesome, man. I mean, I think the whiskey community and the bourbon community, it's all about sharing it. I mean, even I feel like I don't have enough people to share it with. Like, that's how I am. Like, every opportunity I can, I bring a bottle of whiskey. I'm like, hey, try this. Even if it's someone that's not really that into it, I'm like, please try this. I want to know what you think of it. I just love sharing it. And that's awesome that you're able to do that. Oh, what's up, Chris? It's been a while. I don't know if you've been here, but I feel like I haven't seen you in the chat in a while, so good to see you. Larceny Barrel Proof. I have not. Oh, I want it so. Whoa, whoa, Joseph, that is a bold claim. Better than Weller Foolproof? You guys, I mean, you guys have seen I've tried Weller Foolproof, and it's fantastic, phenomenal. I wouldn't pay secondary for it, but like, it's a fantastic whiskey. You think Larceny Barrel Proof is better than Weller Foolproof? Oh, I'm so excited. I've never. I mean, I was already excited for it, but like, if any of you see Weller Foolproof and it's at a decent price and you're willing to send it my way, send it my way. So, Steven, I had both a pick and a standard Weller Foolproof. The pick was definitely better, but I had a standard Weller Foolproof that I thought was exceptional. I mean, again, wouldn't pay secondary. I'd pay a little bit over retail, but it's just a fantastic whiskey, and I'm glad that they're putting it out. So, like Joseph said, you thought the Foolproof was too no interesting. Again, I was just so excited to try it. I probably hyped myself for it a little bit more than some people, but so yeah, Donnie. So that's an interesting point. Larceny was my go-to whiskey for the longest time. Which, I mean, it's relevant because we're drinking Rebel Yell, which is technically the same stuff as Larceny at this point in time. If you're watching this replay later in the future when they're doing their own stuff, then ignore that statement. But as of 2020 or 2019, maybe 2020 they're doing their own stuff, I don't know. They were using Heaven Hill barrels, which is Larceny. That's their wheated mash bill. I loved Larceny for the longest time, but I revisited it, and it's not that I didn't like it, it's just it wasn't as good as what I remember it being. So I imagine the barrel proof, though, high proof wheated bourbon is something that's hard to come by. I mean, there's Maker's Mark cask strength, Weller Foolproof. There's not really many players in the category, in my opinion. So, or Old Fitz. Oh, good point. Good point. I like I said, I filmed a review of Old Fitz that I'm putting up soon, so keep an eye out for that. Which one was the Rebel Yell? That was the Rebel Yell. Ooh, that smells good. Wait, no. Oh gosh, I mixed it up. let me taste this to see what it is. That's the Evan Williams. Oh, that like almost made me sneeze. It's very spicy. I don't want to sneeze on camera. Calm down for a second. Okay. Let me go back to this one. Let me just verify that this is the Rebel Yell. Honestly, I don't know. At least that's the statement. These are very similar, even though one is a wheated and one's a rye mash bill. I'm pretty sure that I was wrong and this one is the Rebel Yell. Let me just try it one more time. Honestly, I'll just finish it and I'll pour another glass. I mean, fuck it. That's the Rebel Yell because that one's lighter and sweeter. You guys should do like keep account of how many times I forget what I'm pouring. I feel like this is like the third or fourth time this happened on my stream. Let me pour a little bit more of the Rebel Yell because I'm pretty sure that was a Rebel Yell. Oops. Wow. Never mind. I poured the wrong. This one I need a dump glass. You know what? How are you guys doing tonight? Because like I'm not even drunk, but like I just poured the regular Rebel Yell instead of the 100 proof because I was like Rebel Yell. I don't have a dump glass. I'm gonna drink it. You guys are about to see the side of me that I was going to say that you've never seen before. You guys have seen the drunk me before. Okay. 100 proof Rebel Yell. Knob Creek. Oh, gosh, I love Knob Creek. It's been a while since I've had it, actually. Perry, which most of you guys know, he is doing a Knob Creek pick right now with OBC Kitchen in Kentucky. And they're doing a Knob Creek pick right now. And I'm so jealous. Okay. I'm putting the bottles in front of the ones I poured, just so I'm 100% clear what's what. What time is it where I'm at? It is 6:30. Yes, 6:31. I'm in Southern California. Haven't had dinner yet, which is probably why this alcohol is affecting me so quickly. But we're going to there's like a Asian takeout place literally across the street from where we live. So we are going to go there, or not. We're not going to go there. We're going to get pick up and bring it over here once I'm done. So looking forward to that a lot. Okay, Evan Williams, Rebel Yell. Let's do this comparison right now, should we? Cheers, you guys. Sorry about that, but it happens. Rebel Yell, super smooth for 100 proof. It drinks super light, super. I would still say that it's very corn forward, whereas the Evan Williams. Let's try that one. This is why I was confused, you guys. This is really interesting, and I'm curious. Does anyone else have Rebel Yell 100 and Evan Williams? Probably not. It's like they're both kind of like, they're not rare, but they're like, you probably don't have both unless you're like a review channel. I'm stumped because I think they taste very, very similar. Brandon, what's up? You need to, next time you're over here, you gotta try this. So Rebel Yell, obviously, is a wheated bourbon. Doesn't mean it's like 100% wheat or anything. It's just more wheat than rye, or wheat instead of rye. Evan Williams is a rye bourbon, obviously rye heavy bourbon, but they're both from Heaven Hill, and honestly, these are so similar. Honestly, I would not be able to tell them apart, which is why I said I made the mistake earlier. You would think that the Evan Williams would be a little bit spicier, being the rye mash bill, which I would say it does drink a little hotter. But flavor profile wise, I mean, these are both budget bottles. Okay, to sum up my thoughts on the Rebel Yell 100 versus the Evan Williams 100, I'm having some weird feelings because like I was so bummed out that I was not able to buy the Rebel Yell 100 here in California, but that Evan Williams is literally just as good. They both have pros and cons that kind of balance each other out. Pros of the Evan Williams, it's spicier. It has a bit more kick to it. It drinks. I mean, this would be a fantastic mixer. The Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, I mean, it is. I mean, it's a $15 to $18 bottle. But the Rebel Yell 100, it's smoother. Again, not as much kick, but the finish on the Rebel Yell 100, much longer. And I think that's really cool. I mean, I'm really surprised how similar these two are. Never would have expected them to be so similar. So I want to get caught up on the chat before we move over to the rye. I've had more pours than I should have at this point because I messed up, but... Oh yeah, you guys asked about the samples. Peter says he has the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Never seen the Rebel Yell 100 proof. I again can't find it in California. I saw it at the distillery and I saw it in the Carolinas. Never hit the bell on my page. Oh well, thank you. Yes, if you guys are watching and you haven't hit the bell button, somewhere around there, you'll get a notification if you hit it whenever I go live. And I think that's a super useful feature. I have that set on so many channels, and like sometimes I forget. I mean, even though I go live the exact same time every single week, or not just myself, but like with the people I watch, they go live at the exact same time, but I forget, and I'm like, I get the notification. It's like ding. I'm like, oh yeah, this person's live right now. I should go check that out. So please hit that bell button below. And if you're not subscribed, I assume you guys are. You guys are all. If you're watching right now live, you guys are all regulars. If you are watching the replay, make sure to hit subscribe and the bell button so you can hang out with us live next time. So, Donnie says, to me, Weller Special Reserve and 107 taste spicier than Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. Interesting. I've never compared them directly, but that's a good point. It's not always because it's a wheated. Like you would think a rye is normally spicier, but maybe not. Chris has a question. Sure. Have you had the new Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond? And if so, how would you compare it to New Riff Small Batch? If you had that, which would you rather have? Fortunately, I have both. Um, I was able the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond hit here about 1 or 2 months ago, and probably about a month ago. Bought a bunch of bottles, shipped a lot of bottles to people out in Kentucky that can't get it. Um, I That's a good question because I have mixed feelings about the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, which again, this is kind of like off topic, but some of you guys may want to know. I bought it for about $40-ish. I think that's a good price point. My issue is out here in California, we can get Henry McKenna when it's in stock. Again, I know, used to be a $26 bottle. I bought it every day, all day, $26. Every store had it, $26. That's not the case anymore. But when we do get it out here in California, other than a couple stores that like put it for $80 and $100, there's one store that gets it pretty regularly and they put it for $40. That's what I paid for the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. So that's my dilemma out here right now. Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond is 7 years old. Henry McKenna 10-year is single barrel. 10-year Bottle and Bond, same price. Personally, I'd rather go with Henry McKenna. Now, to be fair, I've had some Henry McKenna like barrels that weren't that great. So that's the kind of gamble you got to play. Like, are you willing to gamble for a single barrel product and hope it's good, or go with a batch that's most likely good? So that's my thoughts on that. I am a fan of the new Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, and I'm saying that as someone that has tried the old one, the 6-year Bottle and Bond Heaven Hill, the $13 bottle, which thanks to Swan, the bourbon finder from This Is My Bourbon podcast, I was able to buy for $13. So, I mean, we can all admit that that one was underpriced. That one was totally worth way more than $13. So, it's a weird conversation, and I'm not sure I'm the best person to have it because I wasn't surrounded by the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond before it went up in price. So that's my thoughts on that. Hopefully that answers some questions. Getting caught up real quick. Oh, so not a high rye. 10% for the Evan Williams. Oh, interesting. Wait, so Peter, you're saying the Evan Williams is 10% rye? That seems really low, but you could be right. Good point, Donnie. You might get a notification. I used to get notifications for everything, and the bell didn't exist. I miss the old YouTube. Don't even talk to me about the old YouTube. Saying someone that started making videos in 2007, I miss the old YouTube too. Sorry, I missed some of your questions, and I'm not sure what you're referring to. Yeah, I love Knob Creek in general too, Steven. It's a fantastic whiskey. So Chris, we haven't seen it in a while. I don't want to make promises. It's when it pops up, it goes really quickly. So yes, but lately they've been limiting it to one bottle, and I've been on the lookout for a bottle. So we'll see. But 10% rye, 12% barley. Interesting, Peter. Thank you for letting me know. That's really interesting information. Would never expected it to be so low of rye. That's so cool. Hey, that probably explains why I didn't think it had that rye kick. It didn't have that much more of a difference between the Rebel Yell and the Evan Williams. So, hey, the more you know. Let's move on to the rye, though. Just check the time real quick. Gosh, I should have got a dump glass because I really don't need to finish this. But should I drink this? If we get to 8 likes, I will drink this. Because you guys want to see me get drunk, right? We're at 5 likes right now. So if you haven't hit that like button, hit it down below. And I'll finish this. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and pour the rye whiskey. Joseph, interesting you had dental work. I went to the dentist today. I had to switch to a new dentist. My other one, my old dentist retired, and then someone else came in, but then they're on a different insurance plan, so I literally had to get a new dentist. So today I had my appointment just to do a cleaning, and it was really cool. God, their office was so tiny though. It was weird. Like they had like a full like glass front of the building, and like you park right in front of the glass, and like I literally like could see people getting their teeth cleaned. It was a little weird, but like it was pretty cool. So they were really nice, and the new dentist I'm very excited about. So that sounded weird. I'm not very excited about the dentist. I'm just saying he seemed really cool, and yeah, I do a lot of research when I find a new doctor or a new dentist because I don't know. I'm just like weirded out by some people that like are like sketchy. Like my current primary care doctor, he's nice and all, but like I feel like they're constantly out to get more money from me. So what was the price on the Heaven Hill and the Rebel Yell? So Heaven Hill, are you talking about the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond? This one was $18 for 1 liter. Rebel Yell was $22, but it's normally cheaper. If you're talking about the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, I got that for, I think it was like 36. Honestly, it was like 36 to 40 at Costco. Yeah, let's we're at 7 likes. So if we get one more, if we get one more like, I'll drink this and I'll be really drunk for the last 20 minutes of the stream. So we'll find out. So this is the rye. So this one, I honestly didn't even know that Rebel Yell did a rye. Joseph, for me, oh no, I lost a like. I'm down to 6 on my screen. Wait, what are you guys seeing for the likes? Oh wait, 7. I see 7 on my end. What are you guys seeing? If you guys see 8, I'll do it, but I only see 7 on my end. Brandon says boom. I guess that means we're at 8, right? Okay. Anyways. Okay, we're at 8. Okay, I see it on my screen now. 8. Cheers to me getting drunk. I've had way more than I planned to tonight, so. Whew. That's good, though. That Rebel Yell 100 proof. So good. Juan says he's switching accounts now. Okay, we hit it. Don't worry. Okay. You guys are trying me tonight. Thank God I'm going to have some orange chicken after this. Let me rinse both glasses before I do this. I still got 2 more whiskeys to review, guys. Gotta be fair, gotta rinse the glasses. Okay, focus. Just took a sip of Jim Beam Repeal Batch. Yards Brewing Company's Love Stout. I honestly, Jim Beam Repeal Batch, I bought it when it first came out and I was unimpressed. But I've been really wanting to get another bottle of it, and it's available. I just haven't been around a store that had it. I actually went to a store looking for it, but they didn't have it on display. And I wasn't going to ask about it because it's like a $10 whiskey. But I am on the lookout for that one soon. I want to revisit it because I feel like I bought it and I was unimpressed, but I also wasn't comparing it to standard Jim Beam. I was comparing it to the Distillers cut, which is a completely different product. Anyways, before we run out of time, this is Rebel Yell Small Batch Rye. Now, how many of you knew this existed? I'm curious. Say yes or no if you knew this existed, that Rebel Yell released a rye. I am a no. I had no idea that Rebel Yell released a rye. But they do, under the same name. And it's interesting. Got a note from Joseph, no from Brandon. Steven knew. Steven, you know everything. Donnie, no. Guy, no. See, literally, I don't think very many people know they put a rye out. And I paid $11 for this, $10.99 at my store. Of course, it was on sale. It's probably normally more than that, but it's sorry. Peter says, I'm following you on Instagram. What does that mean? I'm a social media challenge. Will ask my 14-year-old what to do. What message? Yeah, Peter, there should be, if you go to my page, you will see that you can send a message, like a little, like, folded paper airplane. It's like a message. I know it's weird. Just send me a message, and I'll send you my address. I may have to follow you back. I'm not sure, but, like, if you followed me on Instagram, I'll follow you back right after this stream, so. Okay, pretty much everyone... No one except Steven knew they even made a rye. They do make a rye, but by saying make a rye is a little not very true. They source their rye whiskey just like they source their wheated bourbon whiskey. They source it from MGP, which which I know some people are like, oh, MGP, no. You guys know I love MGP rye. You guys know I love MGP, especially their rye. Some of you guys know my obsession with Dickel. Yeah. Twist that however you want to twist it. But Dickel rye is MGP rye. Same proof as Rebel Yell rye. The only difference between Dickel rye and Rebel Yell rye, Dickel rye is about 5 to 6 years old. Rebel Yell rye is 2 years old. The bare minimum to be called a straight rye whiskey. So I thought it'd be fun. First of all, I want to try the Rebel Yell before comparing. I don't want to compare it directly. Like, I want to try it first because I'm going to give them a chance for $11. Again, I mean, $11 for a whiskey. It's freaking crazy. Now, it does say small batch. Most of us know small batch doesn't mean anything. I mean, small batch could be anything. It says our straight rye starts out rebelliously spicy with a surprisingly smooth and sweet finish. It does actually. It gives you the age statement on the back. Aged 24 months. So hey, kudos to Rebel Yell Rye. They tell you the age. That's especially with it being so young, 24 months. I commend them a lot on that. So very, very good on their part on that. So, Brandon asked, have you opened your Knob Creek Rye from the White Elephant? Not yet. I'm really trying to avoid opening bottles unless I'm reviewing them. So, have not. I have it. It's on my shelf. It's like not even in my storage shelf. It's on my like main shelf. I will get to it very soon because I'm about to polish off a Knob Creek store pick. Steven, it was actually pick. It was a pick from High Times Wine Cellars. It's a liquor store in Costa Mesa, California. Mesa. I'm sorry, I mispronounced California names. I'm sorry, I'm not from here. Costa Mesa, California. It's like a 9-year-old Knob Creek rye pick though, so I'm excited to try that one. Yeah. So again, let's try this. This is a 2-year-old MGP rye, bottled as Rebel Yell rye, 95, was it 94 or 95? 90 proof, sorry. 45% alcohol, 90 proof. My drunk name, Cliffy. That's what Monica calls me, probably, honestly. See, you guys caused this. You guys told me to drink that pour that was like 100 proof whiskey, like a full like ounce and a half of it, so totally your fault. Just kidding. Ooh, this smells very rye-y. So this is the Rebel Yell Rye. 2 years old. 90 proof. Let's go ahead and do it. I am here. You guys are right. Cheers to Cliffy. I hate saying that to myself, but you know, that's pretty good. I mean, let me have some water. Honestly, I expected the worst from the rye. You know why? Because I think young rye, I mean, I know that younger rye tastes better than younger bourbon. But I thought that like super young rye, 2-year-old rye was just going to be like so off. I mean, honestly, $12? Are you kidding me? This is a fantastic, like, cocktail rye. I mean, I wouldn't sip it neat regular. Sorry, I'm very burpy. Apologies for that. Honestly, 2-year-old MGP rye, I literally thought this was going to be really bad. Now, I honestly planned for this to be like, oh, ew, that's gross. Don't buy this. No. This is a little hidden gem. If you can find it. None of you guys even knew that Knob Creek Rebel Yell did a rye. But Let me try it one more time before I do want to compare it to the Dickel Rye. Donnie, I got this for $10.99. $10.99 for this. I know that's cheaper than it probably will be. It was on sale. I don't think anyone was buying it because no one knew this existed. It's MGP Rye. Like MGP Rye is the basis for a lot of sourced rye whiskey. Bullet Rye, Dickel Rye. It's the most sourced rye whiskey in America that I'm aware of. Peter says 1776 is 100 proof 3-year MGP. Peter, what is the price of the 1776? Because I have tried it at a tasting. Wait, Brandon, what was your name? Brandon Weiss. What did you say was 7 something? Oh, sorry. The 7.99 whiskey was the Rebel Yell, just the standard Oh no, sorry, wrong bottle. Take 2. The 7.99 whiskey was not that one either. Sorry, my cat is going crazy in the background. I am distracted. Where is that bottle? There we go. Cliftone. No, sorry, my husband just left to go get the previously mentioned Chinese food. So my cat is like, hello, where'd you go? Hello, Justin. He's like at my door. So $7.99 Rebel Yell standard 80 proof. Yeah. So I paid a little bit more for the rye. But honestly, it's so good. Justin is currently going to go get our dinner. Like I said, we live right by the takeout Asian place, which I'm a huge fan of. But I do... Okay, so before we end the stream, I know we're like cutting it close on time. By the way, thank you guys for hanging out with me a little bit long and also a little bit drunk. Thanks to you guys. I did want to compare. Brandon, I'm waiting to hear back from our friends. I will let you know. I'll let you know tonight. I promise. $27 for 1776. That's a good price. Yeah, I recommend it. Okay. This is the Dickel Rye. I want to explain the difference before we get distracted again. Okay. Rebel Yell Rye. 2 years old. Rye whiskey from MGP. George Dickel Rye. 5 to 6 year old rye whiskey from MGP. Same proof. So we are having a direct comparison. Now, someone did mention in the chat earlier, George Dickel does filter through charcoal, which honestly, I don't know really what that means, but I feel like it's a very gimmicky Tennessee thing. I don't know. If you guys think that filtering through charcoal makes a difference, let me know. I am curious. Peter says he was buying the Dickel Rye for 22 Canadian in Ontario, now gone. Honestly, this is my favorite value in rye up to this point. I do like Old Forester rye, but when I really want a strong rye presence, especially in cocktails, Dickel Rye is where I go. Same stuff as Bullet Rye. Honestly, this is almost the exact same age as Bullet Rye, but it's normally like $2 cheaper here in California, so... Brandon, yes, please, because I'm not super familiar with what Tennessee whiskey does. I mean, I was into bourbon before I was into Tennessee whiskey, so. Trying to start a war. What did I say? I don't even know what Honestly, a lot of times I say things that are controversial and I don't realize what I'm saying. Okay, so we have the Rebel Yell Rye and the Dickel Rye. Those are very similar. Honestly, on the nose, the Rebel Yell comes... Wait, what? Hold on. 1 second. I'm going to tell you guys why I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted because the Rebel Yell Rye tastes like an older whiskey. That's so weird. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I said taste. I'm sorry. I meant smells older. Yes. Absolutely, Juan. Lots of dill note on that. I do want to compare real quick because that... Why does everything keep surprising me? No, Brandon. Okay, yeah. No, I'm shocked. Why does this smell older? Does it... I mean, most of you guys don't know... You guys didn't know that Rebel Yell even had a rye. There's something else going on here. This is not just younger rye. I mean, like I said, these are the exact same proof. This is supposedly so much younger than that. This has a lot of oak on the nose. The Dickel doesn't. The Dickel... Hey, wait, hold on. I think we may have... Based on our conversation, I think we may have solved something here. I think that... No, I didn't mix it up, Brandon. I just poured more. I had that thought, Brandon, for like half a second, but I just poured more of the Rebel Yell Rye. I think it has something to do with the charcoal filtering. I'm going to be honest. Because the Dickel is charcoal filtered. It's very bright, very minty. Again, no complaints about Dickel Rye. Bright, minty eucalyptus. Eucalyptus. That's so... I'm like blowing my own mind tonight. The Rebel Yell Rye, which is cheaper and younger. There's no doubt that it's the same stuff. I'll say that right up front. Flavor profile wise, exactly the same. You can tell it's the exact. You can tell that it's MGP rye, but wow, I'm just like completely like blown away that this $11 bottle of rye whiskey beats my already budget cheap rye that I recommend to everyone. I recommend Dickel Rye to everyone, but like honestly, Rebel Yell Rye takes the cake. It's better. This Rebel Yell 2-year-old rye whiskey tastes better than Dickel Rye, which has been my like sworn best rye whiskey for the price for like how many, like literally like a year, right? Like you guys hear me talk about Dickel all the time. Rebel Yell beats it, and like. That's why I'm stumbling over my words because I can't believe... I mean, obviously I'm drunk too. But, like, I didn't expect that this $12 whiskey was going to beat my go-to rye whiskey. But it does. You guys are arguing about charcoal filtering. I will say, though... So that's what I think the point I want to make here... is I thought the Dickel would taste older and have more of the oak influence because it was older. But it doesn't. It's like almost like all the oak flavor is filtered out of this whiskey. Whereas this younger whiskey that has not been charcoal filtered, way more oak. Like you said, Brandon, you thought I was like mixing up the glasses. I thought I was mixing up the glasses too, but no. There's way more oak flavor on the 2-year-old versus the 5-year-old. I know it makes no sense, but I honestly think I can blame the charcoal filtering. What do you guys think? Final question for the night. Do you think that charcoal filtering strips flavor or adds flavor? Let me know, because I honestly didn't have an opinion on it until I literally tried two whiskeys from the exact same distillery. One is charcoal filtering it, but older. One is not charcoal filtering it, but younger. And I get more flavor on the non-charcoal filtered younger whiskey. That's also a good point, Brandon. I mean, I don't actually know. It's MGP. No one knows anything about MGP, like where it's aged. So, Donnie, you say that Tennessee whiskey charcoal filtering happens before it goes into the barrel. But what are we talking about when we're talking about, like, Dickel? Because this is MGP rye. They sourced from MGP. Did they tell MGP ahead of time, hey, filter this before you put it in a barrel? I don't think so. I think that's the interesting thing. Because with Jack Daniels, they definitely do filter it before it goes into the barrel. But what about the rye, the Dickel rye? That's really weird. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm not gonna have an opinion on charcoal filter versus non-charcoal filtered. All I'm saying is there's a difference between these two. And the one that tastes older is the one that's non-charcoal filtered. Yeah, I don't actually know. No, I do know that the Dickel is 100% for sure filtered because it says on the label. Charcoal mellowed. Now, if that means before or after, I don't actually know. Donnie, I mean they could, but like I feel like that's not likely, right? They wouldn't. They could get the White Dog from MGP, filter it, then barrel. They could, but are they? I feel like that's like costing them more money to do that versus sourcing an aged rye whiskey. I don't know. I was just curious to hear what you guys thought, but honestly, bourbon that's charcoal mellowed is done after it comes out of the barrel typically. Again, it all depends on the distillery. I don't know anything about that. All I'm going to say is I literally could have swore that this was my favorite MGP cheap budget rye. But Rebel Yell for $12, highly recommended. The rye. The bourbon, you guys know. But the rye, if you see this on the shelf for cheap, try it. It's MGP rye. Don't associate it with the Rebel Yell name. Associate it with MGP rye, which is Dickel, which is Bullet. I mean, there's a lot of other brands that source from MGP, but yeah, who knows, Donnie? That's a good note to end on to you guys. Thank you guys for encouraging me to drink more than I should have, but I had a lot of fun. So good hanging out with you guys. I'm gonna put out some more like produced videos in the next few days. I'm gonna go live next Thursday. Brandon, I'll let you know later tonight if we're gonna go live on Saturday. We might go live on Saturday. We'll figure it out. But cheers to everyone, and thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you for thank you for being willing to watch a Rebel Yell episode, because so many people hate Rebel Yell. Rebel Yell as a brand is not terrible. They're 100 proof and their rye are legit. So, cheers. I'm here to help you drink good whiskey. Rebel Yell makes good whiskey. They're not all good whiskey, but they make good whiskey. All right. Bye, you guys.